Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever you are watching this video, let me welcome you all to our channel Future Endeavors. Okay, so without further delay, let us quickly move on to the discussions that we are making regarding the physics, ICSE physics sample paper term 1. Okay, so we have been almost at the end of our discussion. Just a few more questions left. So I think today's video will be the end of the discussion sessions. Okay, so without wasting time, let us quickly move on to the questions that were remaining. Okay, so on the previous lecture we have discussed up to question number 4C. Now today we will be starting from question number 4D. Last questions. These are the last questions that we will be discussing. Okay, so today we are going to discuss question number 4. Question number 4, subpart D. Question number 4, subpart D. Okay. Now question number 4, subpart D says that select the correct options for total internal reflection in a medium. So first of all, let me just give a brief review what is total internal reflection. Now see, you all know that when light travels from a denser to rarer medium, what happens? I think all of you know that if light travels from a denser to rarer medium, say suppose this is water, this side is water, okay, this side is water and this side is air. So this is a denser medium. What is a denser medium? Air is a rarer medium. Now if light travels from the denser to rarer medium, what happens? Okay, let us see. So if you consider a incident light ray coming at this point, so the arrow denotes the incident light ray, and if we draw the normal at the point of incidence, okay, for this what happens, the reflected ray what happens, slightly bends away from the normal. You all know that when light travels from denser to rarer medium, the refracted ray travels or bends a bit away from the normal. Now what happens if I increase this angle of incidence? This is the angle of incidence. If I increase the angle of incidence, the ray slightly comes like this. Obviously for this corresponding, the reflected ray will be like this. Okay, so if this is the angle of incidence I1, this is the angle of refraction R1. If this is the angle of incidence I2, then this is the angle of refraction R2, isn't it? Okay, so if I further increase the angle of incidence just a little bit more, then what will happen? Then the reflected ray will slightly bend more, and the angle of refraction will become 90 degrees. So now the angle of refraction is 90 degrees. The light goes in this fashion. Okay, so if I consider this third ray which is having an angle of incidence of I3, then what happens? The angle of refraction C becomes 90 degrees, isn't it? Becomes 90 degrees. So this is the R3 and this becomes 90 degrees. Now, do you know what this angle is called? Let me explain you what this angle is called. See, this angle of incidence I3, for which the angle of refraction is 90 degree in the rarer medium, okay, is called the critical angle. So how can I define critical angle? Just if you are watching, if you are just recapitulating the previous concepts, you can write it down also just for once, then it will be easier for you to remember that when light travels from a denser to rarer medium, the particular angle of incidence in the denser medium for which the angle of refraction in the rarer medium is 90 degree can be regarded as the critical angle, isn't it? Okay. Okay. So what happens after this? If we increase the angle of incidence a little bit farther from the critical angle, then you can understand from the figure, if we just increase the angle of incidence greater than the critical angle, then the light ray will not get refracted anymore. It will again be reflected back into the same medium, that is, it was coming from water, it would be bending back into the water medium only. So if I just increase the angle of incidence a little bit further, just a little bit more than the critical angle, in that case the angle of the light ray does not go into the other side, it just comes back to the same medium from which it was traveling. So this is one kind of reflection, and it is regarded as total internal reflection. Why? This is because in case of simple reflection that you can observe on an opaque plane surface, okay, on opaque surface, not only plane, on opaque rough surface can also reflection take place, okay. So on any opaque surface where reflection takes place, certain part of the light gets absorbed. But in this case, what was happening, there are two transparent mediums and the light was getting refracted, but under certain condition the light gets reflected back into the same medium. Now this particular phenomenon is called total internal reflection, as because 100% light is reflected back into the same medium. In case of normal reflection from any opaque surface, what happens, 95 or 98 or 99 maybe percent of light is reflected back, but 1% light is absorbed on the surface, so it does not give a total reflection. But this case is total internal reflection, it gives 100% light back into the same medium. So I think the concept of total internal reflection is clear to you all by now. Okay, so the question says select the correct options for regarding total internal reflection in a medium. First option says that can take place in an optically denser medium as compared to an optically rarer medium. Obviously this is the correct point, that total internal reflection takes place. No, yes, it is a total internal reflection is taking place, isn't it? That it is taking place in the denser medium, isn't it? So first option I think it is okay. So let us just think, check out the next options. Option number 2 says that this takes place for any angle of incidence greater than 42 degree. Okay, so 42 degree, okay, but here exactly the critical angle has not been mentioned. If critical angle is 42 degree, then obviously total internal reflection will take place for any angle of incidence greater than 42 degree. So let us just continue with the other options. This reflection does not obey the laws of reflection. No, obviously it obeys the laws of reflection and can take place if the angle of incidence in a denser medium is more than the critical angle. Yes, this is the correct answer, correct option. So see, actually critically total internal reflection when it is taking place. Okay, so for the given figure, from the given options, you can actually the correct answers are option 3 and option 4. So reflection does not, it has been mentioned that reflection does not obey the laws of reflection, or it is not, so it is not the correct answer. Option 1 and 4 will be the correct options. So just a little bit of correction, option 1 and 4 will be the correct answer, as because 1 says that can take place in the optically denser medium, is obviously it is taken in optically denser medium than the optically rarer medium, and fourth option says can take place only if the angle of incidence in the denser medium is more than the critical angle. Yes, obviously it is okay. Why option 2 is not correct? As because the critical angle has not been mentioned as 42 degree. If it was mentioned as 42 degree, then correct option would have been taken as option 2. Okay, so the answer in this case turns out to be option 1 and 4. Option 1 and option 4. Okay, so question number 4D, option 1 and 4. Okay, fine. Now in the question number 4E, next question, there has been a figure given out. Okay, the diagram shows the path of light through a right angle prism of critical angle 42 degree. Okay, so observe the diagram and answer the following questions. So some questions has been asked, so let us just quickly draw the diagram. What is the diagram given? Okay, so question number 4E. So I am just talking about question number 4E. If you have not noted down the solution, you can pause the video, just move a little bit back and note down the solution. Okay, so question number 4E. Fine. Question number 4E. A figure has been given. A right angle prism is shown in the figure. This is a right angle prism shown in the figure. Okay. Now a light ray is coming. Okay. So let me just draw the figure. It will be easier for you to understand. Okay. A light ray comes obliquely like this. This is 90 degree angle. Hence no refraction takes place as the light ray falls normally. Okay, then from here it goes in this direction and then it moves up like this. Okay, fine. So it has been given here, this is 30 degree cone, this is the right angle 90 degree cone. Okay, and the base has been named as P, this is Q, this is R, this is S, and this is T, and this has been, the triangle has been named as A, B and C. Fine. So the diagram shows the path of the light ray through a right angle prism of critical angle 42 degrees. So angle critical angle is 42 degree given. Okay. So here the phenomenon at the surface AC. Phenomenon at the surface AC means this surface AC. What does here take place? Here actually what is it is happening is, it is option 1 says refraction. No, obviously refraction has not taken place because it has not gone outside the prism. Option 2 says partial reflection. No, it is also not correct. Okay. Option 3 says total internal reflection. Yes, it is total internal reflection, as because the light ray is incident on this surface in the glass medium, it gets reflected back into the same glass medium on reflection. So this is total internal reflection. So question number 4E, subpart 1 question, the correct answer is option 3. So this is option 3. Fine. Okay. Now question number subpart 2 has asked the angle of incidence at the surface of AC. The angle of incidence at the surface of AC. So angle of incidence at the surface of AC, what will be the angle of incidence? See, you can easily draw this. How you can draw this? You can just draw a normal at the point, at this point. So if I draw a normal at this point, at the point R, okay. So if I draw a normal at the point R, so this is 90 degree. Fine. Now the angle of incidence is given. We have to find out this angle of incidence. Okay. So if this is 30 degree given, then this is obviously 60 degree. Okay. So if this is 60 degree and this is 90 degree, I think you can see it in the figure. This is 90 degree. So this angle turns out to be 60 plus 90. It's 150, and this turns out to be 30 degree, isn't it? 30 degree. Okay. So if this is 30 degree, then obviously this angle, what we will do, this angle is subtracted from 90 degree. In order to find out the angle of incidence, I am marking the angle of incidence in the blue color marker. Okay, so this angle will be, see, this is normal. So 90 minus 30, so this turns out to be 60 degree. So this is actually 60 degree. Why? As because this is normal. So this is 90 degree. Okay, and within this 90 degree, this is 30 degree, so obviously it will be 60 degree. So for the question number subpart 2, the correct option is 60 degree. So it's option number 4. Okay. So it's option number 4. Option number 4, 60 degree. Fine. Then the third question says that the angle of incidence at the surface of AB. Angle of incidence at the surface of AB. Okay. AB. So this is this angle of incidence at the surface of AB. This is the angle of incidence. We have to find it out here. Okay. Now this is perpendicular. The angle of incidence at this point AB. So what will be the value of the angle of incidence? Okay. So for this, if you just draw the figure like this, see, when it is taking internal reflection, when it is total internal reflection, so obviously this angle, what will be this angle? Let us consider this angle. Okay, this angle turns out to be okay. So if we just draw the normal, so first of all let us draw the normal. So what is the normal here? The normal at this point will be like this. Okay, the normal at this point will be like this. Okay, so angle of incidence, if you have to find out the angle of incidence, which will be the angle of incidence, I think you can do it as we have done in the previous geometry. Angle of incidence will be this angle. Okay, this angle of incidence. Fine. So what will be that angle? If we consider this figure, what will be the angle of incidence? Now for this, what you have to do, you have to find out the, so if this is normal, so obviously this side, it turns out to be 90 degree. So this is actually 90 degree. Okay. Now if I can find out this angle, particular angle, this angle, then you can definitely find out the angle of incidence. So if I just drop a perpendicular here, so this turns out to be 90 degree, isn't it? This turns out to be 90 degree. Okay, fine. Now if this turns out to be 90 degree, then what is this small angle here? What is this small angle here? Okay, so obviously this angle is 60 degrees, so this angle turns out to be also 60 degree, obeying the laws of reflection. Okay, so this angle also turns out to be 60 degree. So this is also 60 degree, isn't it? This is also 60 degree. Fine. Now if this is 60 degree, then using geometry, can you find out this angle, small angle at the point? Okay, so definitely I think you can calculate this angle. How you can calculate this angle? See, this is 30 degree, this is 90 degree, so 120. Now this, if this is turns out to 30 degree and 60, 120, so this total angle turns out to be 60 degree, isn't it? Okay, so if this turns out to 60 degree, then what you will use? Okay, so from here we can do, okay, so see, this angle turns out to be 120 degree, okay, and this is 90 degree, so this is 120 degree, this angle, sorry, 30, 120, this is 60 degree angle, okay. So if this is 60, then I can consider that this angle is 90 degree, isn't it? This angle is 90 degree, so subtracting from 90 from 60, we get this small angle 30 degree, isn't it? This small angle 30 degree. And if this is 30 degree, then obviously this small angle will be 30 degree, as because the total angle is 60 degree. Okay, so this is 30 degree, isn't it? This is 30 degree. Then obviously this will be the alternate angle, so this angle will be 30 degree. So the angle of incidence at this point will be 30 degree. Okay, so for question number subpart 3, for question number subpart 3, answer is 30 degree. So it's option number 1. So it was option number 1. Okay, fine. Then what is question number? Then second question number 4. Last question of this discussion. Question number 4. Question number 4. What does the question says? The question says, which of the following statement is wrong? Okay, speed of light ray PQ is equal to the speed of light ray ST. So this is PQ and this is ST. So obviously this is correct statement, as because both the light rays are in air. So this is right statement. Speed of light ray QR is equal to RS. RS. Yes, this is also equal, as because both are in the glass medium. Speed of light PQ is greater than RS. PQ is greater than RS. Obviously PQ is the light ray in air. This light ray, speed of this light ray will be greater than the speed of the light ray RS, as because it is in glass medium. Is it? And the last option says the speed of light ray RQ, this is the RQ ray, is greater than the speed of light in ST. No, this is wrong, because RQ is actually the light ray which is within the glass, and ST is the light ray which is actually above, outside the glass, that is in air. So you know that the speed of light in air is greater than the speed of light in glass. So definitely option 4 is the wrong statement. So option 4 is the wrong statement. You have been asked to find out the wrong statement. So I think it is clear. Okay. So here comes the end of our video. We have discussed all the questions of the ICSE sample paper, physics sample paper term 1. I hope the questions are very much clear to you all. If there are any doubt, any query, you can ask in our comment section. We will be definitely very happy to solve your problem. Okay, so I think this series of lectures has been helpful to you all, and I hope your exams will be also be very good. So wishing you all the very best of luck, and very good luck for your examinations. So do give your examinations very confidence, and I hope you can all score good marks. So with that, I am ending this lecture and ending this series. Okay, so thank you till then. See you until the next video. Thank you. Goodbye.